How to negotiate 30% better price from your supplier. In this video, I'm going to cover 5 tips that you can use to negotiate a better price, a cheaper price overall for your product that you're looking to launch on Amazon. Hello everyone, it's Sajad, Stealth Amazon FBA. I hope you've been enjoying the videos. In this video, I'm going to share with you a few quick tips to get better prices from your suppliers. I'm going to use the example of Alibaba.com and I'm going to assume you're reaching out there to look for best prices for your product. So what's the first tip? When you first reach out, ask for 2,000 products of that particular item that you're looking to source. Ask for a quantity of 2,000, minimum order quantity, rather than just asking for 100. What's good there is it looks like you're a big seller first of all, so it gets people very much interested, and then very likely what they're going to do for 2,000 pieces is they're going to give you a very, very good price. And then when you tell them later down the road that you only need 100 or 200 as a trial order for your first product, call it a trial order, then you're negotiating from a better place where they've already given you a price of $5 per item. Rather than just say, look, I only want 100, they're not that interested, and also they're going to start negotiating with you from a price of $9 per unit, for example. It's better to negotiate the other way and move away from that price because you know that's what price they're willing to go to for a higher quantity. And then that way you might get a price of, let's say, $5.50 or something like that. So that's my first tip. My second tip for your first order to save costs when it comes to launching, let's say your first product or one of your initial products, is to not go for any branding at all. Because the best way nowadays to sell products on Amazon is to first test the market with a new product. And for just 100 or 200 units that you might be looking to sell out in 2-3 weeks, don't go overboard in terms of branding that product. You can literally use their off-the-shelf product. This saves a lot of time as well because they'll have it in stock. You can use basic manufacturer branding, but the other thing it saves on is costs. Because if they're giving you something that's just their basic design off the shelf and they don't have to add all kind of fancy branding, very likely you're going to get a 20% or more reduction in costs, saving in costs for that first product. And remember, you're just testing the market. If that 200 or 300 products sell out and it goes very, very well, then yes, for your next order, you can add a lot more. Your competitors have no idea that for your first batch, you've not branded the product in fancy packaging at all. So you can get away with that because remember, Amazon don't know either. You're actually assigning your brand to that product. You can even trademark the product and then not put that much branding on the product if you wanted to. Again, it's just for a test in the market with the initial couple hundred units only. Later down the line, you can do all of the other extra stuff as needed. My third tip when you're contacting that supplier, find out how do they actually package that particular product in terms of how many units are there per carton, so per large cardboard box. Let's say it's 50 or 100 per carton. Then what you want to do is order a quantity that seems suitable based on what they've told you. So if it's 100 units in a carton, don't ask for 460 or 260. Better ask for round numbers like 200 units or 300 units. It saves them money when it comes to packaging and very likely will save money when it comes to shipping as well. So rather go for whole numbers. So let's say, as another example, they usually tend to package 60 units of this item per carton. That's their kind of manufacturer standard. Well, then do a multiple of 60, like for example 240 or 180 instead. So I hope that makes sense. My next tip for you when it comes to reducing costs, and just before I discuss that, make sure to click the like button if you're enjoying the content, and please comment below any other areas you'd like me to cover. By the way, I have a comprehensive training program which covers every aspect of selling on Amazon. If you're interested, the link is the first one in the description below, and there's also a coupon code there you can use for an extra 40% discount off the training at the moment. My next tip when it comes to negotiating final prices is to claim to your supplier that you found another supplier that's willing to do a better price for you. But just say that, look, you prefer going with them because you prefer the quality of the current product that you're potentially getting. Just go back and forth and see if there's anything else they can do. Very likely their next step in this process, and I know this because I've got a lot of experience here, is what they tend to do is they tend to say, look, let me speak to my manager and get back to you. You always want to make sure they've actually discussed something with their manager first before they're giving you the final price, because that way you could again perhaps save 5 or 10%, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that could be your PPC costs when it comes to actually launching your product. So try your best. And usually it's obvious when you've gotten to the bottom price because you've asked them a couple of times and they're not willing to go any lower. You don't need to disrespect them or anything like that. Just be happy with that price and make that decision. My fifth and final tip to negotiate a better price from your Amazon product suppliers, let's say on Alibaba.com. The tip there is to use a different method of shipping. Now, I don't mean just go for sea shipping rather than air shipping. Everybody knows that will be cheaper. I mean, just with air shipping alone, you've got a few options there. If you go for air shipping that's express, like DHL, UPS, etc., especially if you need to restock quickly, that sometimes makes sense. But you can also do general air freight, cargo air shipping, and your supplier might be able to give you a price for that. Now, this will take a week longer, so it might take around 12 days, let's say, rather than 3 to 5 working days. Believe it or not, sometimes express shipping can actually be that quick. But let's say you just want to save on costs. It's your first product, you're happy to wait another week. Get those extra prices because they can sometimes be 20% or even more cheaper when it comes to shipping costs. So I've got many more tips. If you're interested in those, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell icon, and I'll discuss them in a separate video. Thanks very much for listening.